contribution stood out. Despite her voice rather than her appearance, valuing sincerity over superficiality. High-profile individuals would often proposition her, offering to boost her popularity in exchange for meetings, but she consistently turned them down. To her, it felt like a transaction, and, despite financial need, she refused to engage in such arrangements. Then, she noticed a sudden flurry of activity in her stream. Is this the world star effect? She wondered. Despite a year of streaming, she had never received a world star herself, though she had witnessed its impact on other streams. A single world star typically costs $2,000, equivalent to a week's worth of streaming income for her. Yet here she was, receiving them in rapid succession. Sherry couldn't see who was sending them, but the effects were unmistakable. Mr. Wright gave streamer Cherry 10 stars. Mr. Wright gave streamer Cherry 11 stars. Mr. Wright gave streamer Cherry 66 stars. Receiving over 66 stars would not only fill her stream, but also attract attention on Facebook. In an instant, word spread that a wealthy benefactor had made a grand entrance into Sherry's stream. Wow, a benefactor in an unknown stream? Count me in. Wait up, I'm coming too. Viewers flooded into Sherry's stream, swelling from 200 to over 1,000 in mere moments. Thank you for the stars, Mr. Wright. I'm truly grateful. Blown away by the generosity, Sherry expressed her excitement and gratitude, but the stars kept coming. Mr. Wright gave streamer Cherry 666 stars. Mr. Wright gave streamer Cherry 999 stars. Mr. Wright gave streamer Cherry 1,314 stars. Finally, Ethan's outpouring of generosity ceased at 1,314 stars, perhaps from sheer exhaustion. Meanwhile, Cherie's stream exploded with activity, drawing in a staggering 100,000 viewers. Damn, Mr. Wright is a big spender. Mr. Wright is absolutely killing it. Mr. Wright, buddy, need any assistance? Sherry was taken aback by the sudden surge of attention. What was the value of 1,314 stars? Converted into cash, it amounted to over $2.6 million. Even if she received just half of that, it would still be $1.3 million. Glancing at the sender, she saw it was someone named Mr. Wright. He had been a follower for a while, but had never gifted her anything until now. Quickly, Sherry sent him a private message. Sherry, thank you for the generous gifts, sweetheart. Can I follow you on Instagram? Upon seeing Cherry's message, Ethan shared his username. After a brief pause, Sherry followed him. Sherry, appreciate the gifts, honey. Ethan, you're welcome. I've been enjoying your singing for ages without giving back, so I wanted to make up for it all at once. Sherry, thank you for the support, sweetie. If I find some time, I'll sing for you privately. My name's Claire Potter, and you? Ethan. I'm Ethan Drake. The conversation drifted to various topics, with Claire expressing gratitude to Ethan throughout. Ethan approached the towering French window, standing 3 meters tall, to admire the bustling yet enchanting night view of the river Leeds outside. Taking out his phone, he snapped a few pictures of the picturesque scenery and shared them on his Instagram. His caption read, "The nighttime allure of the river Leeds remains undiminished." Ethan seldom posted on his Instagram, but today's buoyant mood compelled him to share. Feeling a wave of fatigue, he stretched out on the luxurious 4-meter-wide bed and soon drifted off to sleep. While Ethan slept, the Facebook community buzzed with activity, especially among popular streamers. Despite their immense popularity, the lion's share of their earnings came from guilds, leaving them with little direct income from their streams. Consequently, they relied on donations from individual viewers. The recent gift of over $2.6 million to a small-town streamer caught their attention. Without the support of guilds, such a windfall hinted at the patronage of a wealthy benefactor. Eager to attract such a generous benefactor, these popular streamers scrutinized Cherie's streams, hoping to catch the eye of this affluent patron. Sherry lay in her dormitory bed, unable to sleep. Tonight, her 3 roommates had ventured out on blind dates with boys from the...
Welcome aboard Via Rail. Please sit and enjoy. Please sit and stretch. Steep. Flip. Or that, and enjoy.
astonishing windfall from the mysterious benefactor. Directly gifting her $2.6 million, this benefactor's generosity surpassed even that of popular streamers, a rarity for a smaller streamer like Sherry. As she prepared to end her stream, guild representatives began reaching out, offering partnership opportunities and promises of enhanced visibility. They dangled the possibility of collaborations with renowned streamers, hoping to entice further generosity from the benefactor. The guilds understood the benefactor's priorities, namely safeguarding their reputation, and sought to exploit this vulnerability to continue reaping substantial gifts. Though aware that guilds often exploited naive streamers for financial gain, Cherie refused their offers. She couldn't bring herself to deceive the benefactor, Ethan, in this way. In response, she faced threats of losing her streaming job. Uncertain of the repercussions of her decision and whether Ethan's generosity was fleeting, Cherie grappled with doubt. Furthermore, she grappled with the weight of responsibility that accompanied the substantial donation of over $1 million allocated to her. She pondered how best to utilize these funds to uplift her family's living conditions. It was inevitable that sleep would elude her tonight. Meanwhile, Ethan's Instagram activity surged. His photo of River Leeds garnered over 100 comments. The clarity of the shot indicated that it was captured from a unit situated above the 30th floor of Crestfall International Residence. Crestfall International Residence? It epitomized luxury in the South Province, with prices starting at a minimum of $200,000 per square meter. A modest unit would fetch at least $50 million, yet Ethan had casually shared a photo taken from there. Comment threads varied from admiration of the angle to speculative jests about Ethan's occupation or connections, but none broached whether he owned a unit there. The following day found Ethan awakening late in the morning. After freshening up, he gazed out the window at the River Leeds scenery, still feeling as though he were in a dream. What's on the agenda today? Right, I should buy a car. Suddenly, the realization struck him that he didn't know how to drive. What now? Hire a driver? But that wouldn't be as thrilling as driving myself. Do I even need a driver for a sports car? That's absurd. Obtaining a driver's license would entail a month-long wait, a delay that is deemed unacceptable. Then he recalled the skill customization feature in the system, allowing him to acquire any skill he desired at will. So, Ethan accessed the interface. With another luxury point in hand, having spent over $500 million after his Facebook top-up the previous night, he could now add another skill. Ethan clicked the plus sign beside the skill column and typed in driving. The system initiated the loading process. Moments later, Ethan sensed a rush of knowledge flooding his brain all about driving. He grasped the functions of the brake, accelerator, and clutch, as well as the procedures for starting the car, shifting gears, steering, and reversing. It felt as though he had real-world driving experience, and he was exhilarated by the newfound knowledge. The system proved to be truly remarkable. Eager to put his new skill to the test, Ethan headed to the Crystal Heights Hotel. At the entrance, Kendall greeted him warmly. "Mr. Drake, breakfast is served. Please, join me." Ethan noted Kendall's professionalism, seamlessly transitioning from last night's intimate exchanges on Instagram to a formal address today. Recognizing the importance of maintaining boundaries between professional and personal interactions, Ethan appreciated Kendall's approach. During breakfast, Kendall leaned in close to Ethan as they exited the hotel, whispering, "Ethan, darling, don't forget our appointment." Her proximity and soft words left Ethan feeling flustered. Internally, he cursed, "You minx." Ethan then splurged on a new outfit, understanding the power of attire to transform one's image. Having added 4 luxury points to his body the previous night, he appeared revitalized and utterly transformed from the previous day. Now resembling a wealthy scion, he exuded confidence and refinement. At the Benz dealership, Ethan's eyes were immediately drawn to the G-Class. After making the purchase, he drove off without hesitation. With his upgraded appearance, none of the sales staff dared to underestimate him, especially when he effortlessly paid for the luxury vehicle. Behind the wheel of his new Benz G-Class, Ethan marveled at the system's capabilities. However, one question lingered. Despite his newfound driving skills, he lacked a license. How could he obtain one? It appeared that no one in his vicinity possessed this capability. Kendall? Ethan speculated that Kendall might have the necessary connections. After all, as a lobby manager in a 7-star hotel, she likely had ties to influential individuals. Thus, he drove to the Crystal Heights Hotel entrance and dialed Kendall's number. "Darling, missing me already?" Kendall's melodious voice greeted him. "Miss Kendall, I need your assistance," Ethan stated plainly. "Tell me what you need, and I'll do my utmost to help," Kendall assured him. "Could you step out for a brief conversation? I'm parked outside the hotel in a new Benz G-Class on the left. It's the one without the license plate." "Of course, darling. Just wait for me," Kendall replied. In less than 5 minutes, Kendall emerged and settled into the passenger seat. "How may I be of service?" she inquired. "I'm looking to obtain a driver's license. Do you happen to know someone who could assist?" "Money isn't an issue," Ethan disclosed straightforwardly. "A driver's license?" Kendall pondered. How could a wealthy individual like Ethan lack one at his age? Nevertheless, since he hadn't provided an explanation, she refrained from prying. It shouldn't pose a challenge. "When do you require it?" Kendall queried. "As soon as possible." "Pass me your ID card. I'll photograph it," Kendall instructed. "Sure." Ethan retrieved his ID card and passed it to Kendall. After snapping a picture, she forwarded it to a contact and placed a call. "Hey there, I've sent you a photo of an ID card. Can you ask your husband to arrange a driver's license for me urgently?" "Got it. Thanks a bunch. Please convey my gratitude to your husband." Kendall concluded the call and informed Ethan, "You should have it by this afternoon at the earliest." "Thank you, Miss Kendall. How much do I owe you?" "I'll transfer the funds," Ethan offered. "Let's not discuss payment. Since you've addressed me with such respect as Miss Kendall, there's no need for formality," Kendall insisted. "Understood. Are you available now? I'd like you to accompany me somewhere," Ethan proposed. "I'll make time, even if I'm busy." "Just say the word," Kendall affirmed. "Great. Let's hit the road." Ethan ignited the car engine and departed from the Crystal Heights Hotel. Kendall accompanied Ethan to a Porsche dealership. As they stepped inside, a striking sales representative approached them. Observing their arrival in a Benz G-Class and assessing Ethan's attire, she inferred his affluent status. "Welcome, sir, miss. Are you considering purchasing a vehicle?" she inquired eagerly. "Yes," Ethan affirmed. "May I inquire about the model you're interested in?" she continued. "Do you have Porsche 911 in stock?" Ethan inquired. "We do," she confirmed. "Please show us," Ethan requested. "Certainly, sir. Follow me," the sales representative invited, leading them to a Porsche 911. "We currently have 2 available, one in red and one in black. Which would you prefer to inspect, sir?" she inquired. Ethan surveyed the cars casually and expressed his preference. "I'll take the red one. Prepare the invoice." The sales representative was taken aback. He hadn't even examined the vehicle thoroughly, yet he was ready to make a purchase. His wealth seemed boundless. "Aren't you going to inspect it first, sir?" she asked, surprised. "I did." "The red one suits my liking," Ethan stated confidently. "Very well, sir. Please follow me," the sales representative directed. She escorted them to the front desk and began detailing the car's performance to Ethan. "Sir, this red Porsche 911 boasts the latest high-performance specifications, featuring a 6-cylinder flat twin turbocharged engine." Before she could continue, Ethan interjected, "That's enough. No need for further details. Just tell me the price." "May I inquire about your preferences?" she asked. "Just provide me with the top-tier configuration," Ethan instructed. "Understood. Please wait while I calculate it for you," she replied. After a brief pause, "Sir, the total comes to $3.28 million, she announced. Following the payment, Ethan and Kendall settled onto the sofa, awaiting the completion of the paperwork. Kendall assumed Ethan intended for her to drive the car since he couldn't drive both back himself. Though puzzled by his choice of red, she suggested, "Darling, I think black suits you better. Why not choose the black one?" "It's not for me. It's for you. I believe the red one complements your personality, Miss Kendall," Ethan disclosed with a smile. "For me? Darling, are you serious?" Kendall questioned, astonished. "Do I appear joking?" "This is for you," Ethan affirmed. I can't accept such an extravagant gift, Kendall protested hastily. Miss Kendall, since you address me so warmly, don't be so modest. You know this amount means nothing to me. It's merely a meal or two. If you decline, can we still enjoy our time together? Ethan reasoned. Well, all right, thank you, Ethan, Kendall exclaimed joyously. Kendall was elated. Her current car costs $100,000, yet her annual income barely exceeds $500,000 to $600,000. After allocating a significant portion to rent, clothing, and cosmetics, the remainder supported her unemployed younger brother. Consequently, despite her polished appearance, she lacked substantial savings and couldn't afford a luxury vehicle like that. Moreover, any woman would covet a red Porsche 911. The elegant sales representative overheard their conversation as she trailed behind them, casting envious glances at Kendall. She longed for someone as extravagant as Ethan, capable of bestowing a $3 million luxury car without hesitation. Sir, please provide your identification card or number for insurance and registration, she requested. We'll use yours, Miss Kendall, Ethan replied, directing his gaze at Kendall. Ethan, is that appropriate? Kendall questioned, surprised. Assuming Ethan intended for her to simply drive the car, Kendall hadn't expected him to register it in her name. The sudden surprise left her feeling lightheaded. Didn't I say I'd be buying it for you? Do you think I'm joking? Ethan retorted. Very well then, darling, thank you so much. Kendall handed her identification card to the sales representative. 10 minutes later, the sales representative returned with the paperwork and key. Sir, everything's ready. Here are the keys and documents. You can drive away now, she informed Ethan. Miss Kendall, it's yours. Let's go. Ethan gestured, rising to leave. Kendall accepted the documents and key, proceeding to the car. The two vehicles drove alongside each other. Shortly after, Ethan, leading the way, receives a call from Kendall. Darling, where to next? Shall we return to the hotel for lunch? I'm not very hungry, Ethan suggested. Me neither, Kendall agreed. Would you like to visit my house? Ethan proposed. Sure. They drove to Crestfall International Residence and parked their cars before strolling to Block 1. Kendall was familiar with Crestfall International Residence, often admiring it enviously as she passed by. The prospect of owning a home here remained a distant dream for her. Even though owning such a dream home felt like an unattainable fantasy, simply visiting brought a sense of fulfillment. Ascending to the 37th floor in the elevator of Block 1, they entered a realm of opulence that left Kendall awestruck, despite her mental preparation. The lobby dazzled with a magnificent chandelier overhead, while a massive French window framed a breathtaking view of the river Leeds. Every detail, from the plush sofa to the elegant paintings, exuded luxury. Kendall couldn't help but wish she could trade a decade of her life for the chance to reside in such splendor. Please, take a seat, Ethan invited, pouring her a glass of water. Ethan, darling, your home is exquisite. I can only imagine how stunning River Leeds must be at night from this vantage point, Kendall remarked, gesturing toward the French window. It's quite lovely. Feel free to visit whenever you like to enjoy the view, Ethan assured her. Really? Kendall responded, surprised. Absolutely. By the way, where are you originally from, Miss Kendall? Ethan inquired. I'm from Cloud City. I've been working here in River City for about 3 to 4 years, Kendall answered. Have you managed to buy a home here yet? Ethan asked curiously. Not yet. The housing prices here are astronomical. I'm not sure when I'll be able to afford it. Kendall sighed sadly. With your salary, you should be able to qualify for a mortgage in River City, shouldn't you, Miss Kendall? Ethan suggested. Actually, my salary isn't that high, and I still have to support my parents and younger brother. Between rent and other expenses like clothing and cosmetics, saving up is a challenge, Kendall explained, with a hint of melancholy. Would you consider moving in with me? It's quite spacious for just one person, and you could save on rent, Ethan proposed, surprising himself with the suggestion. He knew it was sudden, considering he had only known Kendall for 2 days, yet there was an inexplicable longing in his heart. Ethan couldn't help but reflect on how different his dynamic with Kendall was compared to his past relationship with Jane. With Jane, he often found himself yielding to her wishes, rarely having a say. However, Kendall treated him as an equal, seeking his input and allowing him to make decisions. Every man harbors a bit of pride, and Ethan appreciated how Kendall respected his opinions and allowed him to take the lead. Subconsciously, he found comfort in her presence. "Is that appropriate?" Kendall asked, a hint of hesitation in her voice, though she couldn't deny her excitement at the prospect. Moving in with Ethan meant relying on someone powerful, which stirred a mix of emotions within her. As for any concerns about propriety, they seemed insignificant compared to the allure of being with someone like Ethan. In fact, she was intentionally enticing him, eager to explore this newfound connection. Kendall had always been ambitious. In high school and university, she was renowned for her beauty, attracting the attention of many admirers, including some of the most handsome and affluent individuals. Despite the allure, she declined all their advances. As a result, Kendall has never been in a relationship. She was clear about her goals. While she could easily have fallen in love and settled for an ordinary life, or even entertained multiple suitors, she had bigger aspirations. She sought to validate her worth, alter her destiny, and uplift her family's circumstances. To her, those capable of elevating her status were distinct from those she merely used for companionship. Thus, she remained single, anticipating this moment. Ethan was her target, the means to fulfill her life's purpose. With Ethan by her side, she believed she could achieve her goals without aiming for the pinnacle. She didn't aspire to marry a wealthy man like Ethan, as she knew his family would select a suitable partner for him. Aware of her position, she had resolved not to consider marriage, focusing instead on her chosen path. So, when Ethan invited her to live with him, she was taken aback by the sudden offer, unsure how to react. What's inappropriate about it? I can't manage such a large house alone. It would be nice to have someone to talk to. If you have a boyfriend, just ignore my suggestion to avoid any misunderstandings, Ethan remarked. No, I don't have a boyfriend. Actually, don't laugh, Ethan. I've never dated anyone in my life. I just wonder if I'll disturb you like this, Kendall quickly clarified, fearing Ethan might misunderstand. Never dated before? That's surprising, Ethan thought to himself. However, he reassured her, not at all. I like having people around. The house feels empty now that I'm staying here by myself. If you don't come, I'll find 2 more people from my campus to make this place livelier. Since you're saying that, then I'll thank you for the offer. Should I move in tomorrow? All right, it's settled then. Do you need my help? No need, I can manage. Plus, I don't have a lot of things. All right, you can look around and see which room you want to stay in. You can choose any room on this floor, Ethan suggested. Miss Kendall, didn't you ask me to go swimming with you? Now we can do it anytime we want. There's a pool upstairs. All right, should we go now? Kendall tempted. I don't think so. Let's do it another day. Ethan felt he wasn't as skilled as Kendall at conversation. Plus, Kendall was almost reclining, exuding seductiveness. This woman seemed born to flirt. Kendall stood up, walked in front of Ethan, and bent down to whisper in his ear, "Well, Ethan, darling, you can ask me out anytime. I've already bought my swimsuit, and no one's seen it yet." Ethan's body heated up at Kendall's flirtation. He wanted to push her down and indulge at the moment, but he restrained himself. Instead, he stood up and said, "Miss Kendall, take a look around. I'll go upstairs to get something. We'll head back to the hotel later." Ethan's face flushed as he hastily found an excuse to escape. He realized inviting Kendall over might have been a mistake. Who could withstand such seduction every day? Wasn't it torturous to his innocent soul? Kendall stood her ground, unable to contain her giggles. She found Ethan utterly endearing, yet she couldn't shake the thought that Ethan might be inexperienced in certain areas. But a wealthy young man like him, a virgin, it seemed far-fetched. Could he have some kind of problem? She wondered. No, that's impossible. How would I leverage my advantage then? How would I attach myself to this influential person? Ethan, oblivious to Kendall's musings, might have reacted strongly had he known her thoughts. How dare she doubt his prowess? It was humiliating. Upstairs, Ethan flopped onto the sumptuous bed, seeking refuge from Kendall's allure. She was too much for him to handle, yet he wasn't repulsed by it. He grabbed his phone and opened Instagram. The photo he posted of the river Leeds last night has garnered over 100 comments. Skimming through them, he found most were jests directed at him. He only replied to a few close friends, withholding the news of his own purchase. Nobody would believe him anyway. In his direct messages, he found a good morning message from Jonah. There was another from his cousin Lily Gregg, his youngest aunt's eldest daughter. They were close, having lived together for 2 years during high school. Since the senior year was stressful and his mischievous younger cousin affected his studies, he moved in with his eldest aunt, where Lily lived. She was now in her first year at a university in another city. Lily, Ethan, where did you take this picture? It's stunning. Ethan, I took this in River City. If you like it, you can come to have fun here when you're on break. I'll take you around. Lily, really? Don't lie to me. Ethan, of course. When did I ever lie to you? Lily, all right, that's settled. I'll come to find you the moment I'm on break. Ethan, okay. Lily, Ethan, I'm streaming on Whale Streaming tonight. Please come and support me if you have time. Ethan, you little lass, do you even know how to stream? Lily, Ethan, you're so outdated. All 4 of us in my dorm are streaming. Not only is it fun, but I can also make some money. Ethan, I'll go and take a look tonight then. I'll boost your popularity for you. Lily, right, Ethan. Are you still working part-time? I made about $3,000 from streaming last month, and then Mom gave me $1,500. I'll transfer $2,000 to you later, so you can take Jane for something nice. Ethan felt a surge of gratitude at Lily's gesture. Despite their infrequent contact since he moved out of his youngest aunt's place, their bond remained strong. Ethan, no need. You should buy some nice clothes for yourself. When you come to River City, I'll give you a surprise. Lily, what surprise? Ethan, it's a secret. Lily, oh, you meanie. Ethan, I have to go now. Class is starting. Bye. Ethan, bye. After a while, Ethan noticed Lily transferring $2,000 to him. Ethan hesitated before accepting it. I'll repay you tenfold tonight. Ethan felt it was time, so he handed Kendall a set of keys. If he couldn't bear it anymore, he would move out and buy a new house. He had the means to do so. To him, until a man and a woman established their relationship, they couldn't engage in frivolity. He had to be responsible. Afterward, they returned to the Crystal Heights Hotel. At that moment, on the 33rd floor of the Crystal Heights Hotel, inside the chairperson's office, the general manager of Crystal Heights Hotel, Sean Caldwell, stood across from a man in his 30s. The man lounged in the chairman's seat, his legs casually resting on the desk. This man was Lance Green, the chairman and the largest shareholder of the hotel. Sean, have there been any recent developments in the hotel? Lance inquired. He happened to be in South River Province for business and decided to pay a visit. Such visits were rare, typically occurring once or twice a year. Mr. Green, everything is running smoothly in the hotel. Business is steadily growing with a 20% increase compared to the same quarter last year. Sean responded. Good work, Sean. Your year-end bonus will be doubled, and the staff's bonuses will see a 50% increase. Thank you, Mr. Green. Sean expressed his gratitude with a bow. All right, carry on with your tasks if there's nothing else. I merely dropped by for a check-in. I'll be leaving shortly, Lance stated casually. After a moment of contemplation, Sean added, Mr. Green, there is something I need to inform you about. Yesterday, a customer signed up for a membership card here and immediately topped up to $100 million. Oh, did he use his name or his company's name? Lance inquired with interest. He used his name. Yesterday, he dined on a meal costing $1,500,000. He also requested that the hotel prepare his meals daily, using only the finest ingredients, with instructions to discard them if he doesn't show up. He sounds like a nouveau riche to me. How old is he? According to his information, he's 21, and he appears to be a student from Crestfall University. 21? A student? Topping up $100 million just for food? Have you met this individual? No, Mr. Green, I haven't. The lobby manager, Kendall Warner, attended to him yesterday. Bring Kendall Warner here. Yes, Mr. Green. Sean immediately radioed Claudio and is Miss Warner available? Respond if you can hear me. Sean urgently spoke into the walkie-talkie. Is Miss Warner available? Respond if you can hear me. Shortly after, a voice responded from the device. Mr. Caldwell, Miss Warner left this morning and hasn't returned yet. Glancing at Lance, Sean relayed through Sean turned back to Lance, saying into the device, "Thank you. I'll handle it. Mr. Green, please excuse me." Lance maintained a stoic expression. "No need. We'll wait here until she returns." "Sean, it's concerning when a staff member isn't present during working hours, especially without prior notice. Is this the standard of your management?" "My apologies, Mr. Green. It's an oversight on my part. I'll address this issue promptly and ensure better organization within the hotel," Sean replied cautiously. Internally, he seethed with frustration. What had prompted Kendall's absence at such a critical time, jeopardizing their reputation and inviting Lance's criticism? The room fell into silence, with Lance engrossed in his phone and Sean rooted in place, praying for Kendall's swift return. Upon returning to the hotel, Ethan headed straight to the private dining room for his meal. Meanwhile, Kendall hurried to the office of the general manager, Sean, having been informed by the front desk that he was looking for her. Finding Sean absent, Kendall took out her walkie-talkie and inquired, "Mr. Caldwell, it's Kendall. I'm outside your office. Where can I find you?" Sean, feeling the strain of standing in the chairman's office, was relieved to hear Kendall's voice. "Kendall, come to the chairman's office," he instructed. Receiving Sean's directive to visit the chairman's office surprised Kendall. Sensing an air of urgency in Sean's tone, she grew anxious. The chairman's presence suggested something amiss, and she feared the repercussions of her absence during working hours. Uncertain of Ethan's support at this early stage, losing her job now would spell trouble. Hastening her steps, Kendall made her way to the chairman's office, her mind racing with apprehension. Minutes later, she reached the door, giving it 2 polite knocks. "Enter!" boomed a commanding voice from within. Pushing the door open, Kendall found Sean standing inside while Lance occupied the opposite seat. "Mr. Green, Mr. Caldwell, good day. I'm Kendall Warner," she introduced herself timidly, stepping further into the room. As Lance's gaze fell upon Kendall, he couldn't help but admire her striking beauty and poise. Her professional attire only accentuated her allure, and he couldn't fathom why someone with her potential was relegated to the role of a lobby manager. "Miss Warner, leaving your post during work hours without informing anyone is unacceptable behavior for a lobby manager," Lance reprimanded firmly. Kendall felt a wave of